Do you have difficulties in acting as you planned? Do you create New Year's resolutions, but when the time comes to act on them, you simply don't do it? Do you start doing something, but in the first sign of adversity, you give up? Do you have a tough time resisting temptation? If you answered yes to any of these questions, very likely you should strengthen your self discipline muscle. But worry not, it's completely possible to do it, and today we will learn 5 methods to improve it. Before we get to the methods, however, we should clearly define self discipline so that we can understand it better. Self discipline is connected with how well we can control our feelings, overcome our weaknesses, and act rationally. It is the capacity to resist temptation and act according to the rational principles that guide our lives. While motivation is more emotional, self discipline is more rational. Motivation happens from time to time and it is short lived. Self discipline, on the other hand, is constructed based on our long term vision and the habits that we nurture to achieve it. Why is self discipline important? You can disagree and say, wait for a second. I don't need self discipline. I want to have authenticity and freedom in my life. To that, I would answer you can expand your authenticity and freedom by developing your self discipline. There is a very interesting study called the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment, in which kids would enter a room with a marshmallow. The researcher told them that if they could wait and not eat the marshmallow, they would receive later a second marshmallow. Or, in other words, they had a choice between a small but immediate reward or a bigger but later reward. After some years, the researchers got in touch with the kids and their families to see how they were doing. And what they discovered is that kids that were able to wait for the second marshmallow, bigger but later reward, tended to have better life outcomes, such as good jobs, stable relationships, and life satisfaction. So, by developing your self discipline, you will be able to delay gratification, resist temptation, act on your responsibilities, and achieve your long term goals. Now that we have defined it more clearly and identified its importance, let's learn how we can strengthen our self discipline muscle. How to develop it? Method number 1 is journaling. Having a journal that you write once or twice a day, morning and evening, for example, for 10 to 20 minutes, is a very powerful way to develop self awareness and improve your self discipline. By creating small habits, you can expand to bigger ones. Journaling is a very ancient tradition. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, Da Vinci, Marie Curie, Anne Frank, Darwin, Einstein, Frida Kahlo, to name just a few, were people who had the habit of journaling in their everyday life. You can use journaling in different ways. You can write about your memories, your fears, your objectives, your daily life, etc. But for our purpose today, journaling can be used to reflect on your intentions for the day and, at night, reflect on how your day was. This can help you with improving your self discipline as well as correcting specific behaviors that you don't desire to maintain. According to a study conducted by Harvard Business School, participants who, at the end of the day, journaled had a 25% increase in their performance when compared with a group who did not journal, the control group. So, What are you waiting for? Start journaling today. Second method is meditation. It is an incredibly powerful small habit that makes the whole difference in your quality of life and self-discipline. Meditation can help you physically, mentally, and emotionally. Self-control, one of the most important components of self-discipline, is substantially increased by meditative practice. Your meditation sessions could be 10 to 20 minutes long. You can meditate by listening to guided meditation, remaining in a quiet room with no lights, focusing your attention on your breathing, letting your mind clear away from distractions, relaxing your body in a comfortable position. Meditation improves the region of your brain connected with willpower, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. As a consequence, it makes it easier for you to control your behavior. Third method is nutrition and exercise. Your body needs the right fuel, so eating healthily increases the amount of energy that you have. How can you increase your self-discipline muscle if you are feeling without energy? Another important aspect is practicing physical exercises, mens sana in corpore sano, a healthy mind in a healthy body. Physical exercises have physical but also psychological effects. They can increase our well-being and the sense of what we are capable of doing. A study showed a significant correlation between the regular practice of physical exercises and greater self-control. By building healthy habits, naturally you will become more in control of your life and decisions. The fourth method is the growth mindset. Carol Dweck said, "For 20 years my research has shown that the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. It can determine whether you become the person you want to be and whether you accomplish the things you value." The fifth tip is to change the way you think about your activities and yourself. There are two fundamental mindsets, the fixed and the growth mindset. Carol Dweck, in her book Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, shows us the power that beliefs have on ourselves. Many beliefs that we have are unconscious and automatic, which doesn't mean that they are correct. Some of them, in fact, cause harm in many different aspects of our lives. If you think that your character, creativity, intelligence, and discipline, or any other trait are fixed, you will carry with you limiting beliefs that can undermine any project that you attempt, developing your self-discipline being one of them. Instead, you should see failure as an opportunity to grow and challenges as opportunities to learn. Thinking that you can change and that you can become the person that you want to have profound impact in basically all aspects of your life. The fifth method is rewards. When you plan your activities and by the end of the day you can execute them, give yourself some reward. This can be eating one of your favorite foods, watching a series that you love, hanging out with your friends, etc. Anything that you consider pleasurable. This is called positive reinforcement. It is one of the most powerful ways to sustain and maintain desired behaviors. If, however, you have planned your activities and by the end of the day you haven't executed them, you should remove your reward. Your brain will associate that when you do what you have planned, you receive what you want. But if you weren't able to keep up with your plans, the reward doesn't come. Today, we discussed 5 methods that you can use to develop your self-discipline. We started by defining more clearly what self-discipline means and why it is important. In sequence, we saw that journaling, meditation, nutrition and exercise, growth mindset, and rewards are incredibly efficient ways to develop our self-discipline. All of these techniques will be helpful as long as you try to practice them in your daily life. Don't worry about being perfect, just try it out and see how that influences your daily life. I hope these techniques can help you to shape your behavior, achieve your goals, and have a better quality of life. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving awesome material to develop your English language, and if you have any question,